Welcome to the show where stories unfold.
Let's go.
People doing big things, breaking the mold. They're changing the game, making waves every day.
Big move.
Shining bright with the work that is well.
Shine on.
This is breaking the silence with Nick
Nigga, go in the building.
Unleash your inner voice and make some
Turn
noise.
up. Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast with Arthur, Nick, Nicole. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell your cousin, tell your friend, tell your neighbor to come over here and break the silence with Arthur, Nick, Nicole. Welcome to another powerful episode. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the conversation.
What's going on, everybody? Man, that song gets me hype every doggone time I come live. I be back here vibing, y'all, for real. How y'all doing? How did work go today? How's life been treating you today? Well, I decided to go live because I wanted to have, just everyday conversation, about topics that matter in the world right now. To some. Not all topics matter to people, but I chose 4 different topics because I'm like, they're kind of strong right now. All right, so the first topic is going to be, is college still worth it in 2025? Honestly, y'all, I feel like when I got my degree, it was already hard. Because just because you get the degree, that doesn't mean you're going to get a job, if that makes sense. You'll have the degree, you have the credentials, but then there'll be something else they want you to have on top of that. Like I have a business degree. So it was, all right, now we need you to get to the next level. Get the next level of the degree. Plus, you got to get these certifications to go along with that in order for us to hire you. So now we have, AI stuff. So now I think it makes it a little bit harder for people now that are obtaining degrees, in order for them to get a job now. I think it's going to make it harder for them, honestly. But I do encourage, because I'm pro-education, I do encourage people to still go to college, still get your degree, because life be life in y'all. So at least, that'll be some type of stepping stone that you can have just in case your plan didn't work out the way you had planned, right? But if I had to be honest, the way things are going now in society and the way that it is now and how hard and difficult it is for you to already find a job, just a regular job in a fast food restaurant as a regular employee. And sometimes these places, these fast food places and stuff, they require you to have a diploma at least. Yeah, you got to have at least a diploma. And sometimes in these management jobs, they require you to have a degree. So it's getting hard out here. Like America is going through. So this is why I still say, go to college. Maybe that's not what you plan to do. Maybe that wasn't your original plan. But at least if you have that under your belt, then you'll be able to have a leeway, if that makes sense. Even though a degree doesn't lock the job in now. A degree does not lock the job in. But it's good to have it. It's good to have it. Listen, I hope that everybody will join the conversation and let's chat about these topics. Like, man. So the next topic I chose was, should there be a cap on how many children people have? Now, me personally, that ain't none of my business. That ain't none of my business. How many children somebody has, they got to take care of them. That's how I look at that right there. They gotta take care of those kids. So at the end of the day, what does that gotta do with me? Nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with me. So I'm gonna pull a video because I was sitting here listening to some of these comments, like some of these videos about people and what they think about, how many children you should have. Um, so let me get my screen queued up, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Let me get my screen queued up so y'all can check this video out. But like I said, I feel like that's a personal decision. How many children you have, that's your business. Long as you can take care of them right, that ain't got nothing to do with nobody. And that's just facts. They ain't got nothing to do with nobody. And that's the problem. People want to mind for business. Ain't your business. All right, so let me add this to the stage. All right. Let me start it over.
Let me tell you what goes through my
All right.
mind when people tell me they have children and how many. If you have one child, I'm thinking you're one and done. You really didn't care to be a parent too much. Maybe you tried your hand at it and were like, this is not for me. It's ghetto. It's expensive. There are a ton of things that could probably be going through your mind. This child is probably now your best friend. You make sure you guys dress alike. You really emphasize that they're in every single part of your life. And that's great. Maybe you even got your child an animal so that they could love because you're not giving them another sibling. And I'm not talking about the people who are teen parents, but also there may be people who have chosen their career first and then had a child later on in life. And this is the only child that you're able to have. Let me tell you what goes through my mind when
Well,
people tell me they have children and how.
I mean, at the end of the day, I do believe that how many children, oh Lord, got me straight up on the screen, y'all. How many children you have is none of my business. And I'm just gonna stick with that. That's none of my business how many children you have, because at the end of the day, nobody should have nothing to say about that. Nobody should tell you how many children you should have based off of how they feel. You know what I'm saying? That's your business. Okay, so let me see if I can find something about education play, y'all. 1 second. Yes. Let's see what kind of videos are gonna pull up, because everybody has their opinions, their personal opinions and everything. But let me cue this one up for us.
Still worth it in 2025. You got people going to college and acquiring over $100,000 in debt for a job that only pays $45,000 to maybe $50,000 a year. And on the other hand, you got people that are starting businesses. You got people that are into social media, that's monetizing their skills and brands. You also got those group of people that are learning trades, and they are making more money than you would going to college. So does college guarantee you a life of success in 2025? So there was a time that I used to feel like college almost guaranteed you a life of success with the way the world was and how everything was without social media. But now it's kind of up in the air. So y'all leave in the comments and tell me, what do y'all think? Is college worth it anymore? In 2025, with everything that's going on and how people are making money, are you in college? Do you have your own business? Y'all leave in the comments and tell me what y'all think. So is college still worth it in 2025?
So what y'all think about that? All right, now like she's right. Like you can get on these platforms now, you can make more money than you ever dreamed of. But you got to still work though. You still got to work. I don't care how you put it. You still got to work. So in the comments it says, I believe it all depends on the person's goals and future plans. And then someone else said, if you're going to college just be able to make money, then going to college just to be able to make money, then it's unnecessary. And higher education is about much more than that. So another person commented and said, I make 80,000 to 110,000 a year and only have a high school diploma. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can grab this right quick, y'all. Grab this comment real quick. So what do you think about that? I make from 80,000 to 110,000 a year and only have a high school diploma. I'm a steel worker. Whoa. Now that's mind blowing. So then some more of the comments said, yes, I agree. Okay, let's go down. It depends on the career you want. If you go for a trade, you still have to go to college at least 18 months, and that depends on the trade. Now, I do agree that people should get a trade, like learn a new skill. Learn a new skill. So I'm trying to read through the comments and see what the comments say, y'all. See another good one to pull out. Let's see. Somebody said they think you should go to a community college for nursing or x-ray, tech, respiratory, where you can make $100,000 a year. And a lot of CNAs are making $26 to $30 an hour. So a lot of people are saying that, college is not worth it in 2025 in these comments. And then somebody said, if you go for the right reason, go partying in my partying. What in the world? Let's see. Trying to find another comment that makes sense to what he's saying on a different approach. Somebody said, no, the degrees are not, college is not worth it in the year of 2025. So get off the couch and go out and make something of yourself. They've made self-made. They say they are a self-made person. All their life, they've been a self-made person. Didn't have any problems. So basically, they're saying if you're lazy, then I don't know. I ain't gonna say that. In order, I guess what they're saying too, if you got that hustle mentality and you go out there and you got the mind to make the money, then of course you're gonna make the money. You know what I mean? But if you sitting around waiting for it just to fall in your lap, then of course you're not gonna make the money. If that makes sense. And somebody says college is worth it, please don't go out there listen to the uneducated. Ooh. Go for what makes money, not for what you love. Now, I'm not necessarily going to say that people are uneducated because they feel like they can strive without having a degree. I wouldn't go that far as saying that. I just say have a backup plan. That's it. Have a backup plan. All right, so let me see if I can get a video of the next topic. 1 second, y'all. If y'all got a moment, follow me on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok, Breaking the Silence on TikTok. 24. The next topic is going to be, should teachers be allowed to discipline your children? So let me see if I can find a video on that real quick. Hold up. Then once I find a video on that, then I'm going to tell you about my personal experience when it comes down to that. Because y'all know it's a bunch.
The teachers can physically discipline the children now. You let a motherfucking teacher touch my damn child, any of the 3 that came out of my goddamn birth canal, and see if I ain't gonna turn that school up the fuck side down, sideways, all around, everything. Y'all gonna see my ass on the national news. You better just go ahead and give me my inmate number right now, because I'm gonna turn that bitch upside the fuck down. Like, I'm so glad that my kids have home training, and like I don't think I really got to worry about that shit. But you let any one of them 3 come home and tell me or call me and let me know that they teacher them put their motherfucking hands on them. I will light they motherfucking asses up, and especially let it be a man and he putting his hands on my daughter. I don't think they thought about this one too clearly. I really don't. I don't know. What day and age are we going back to? I don't know. Teachers can now physically discipline the children. The executive order was signed. No way. Ain't no fucking way. I don't know. They must just want to put people up in the jailhouse, because I don't see no other way that this is going to turn out. But other than a lot of parents going to end up in the jailhouse if the teachers start putting their hands on our children. Am I tripping? I can't be tripping. I can't be the problem. The teachers can physically discipline the children now.
So, okay, y'all. This is what I think about that. All right, so let me tell you something. I come from the old school era, right? Where I was allowed, my mother gave permission to the schools to discipline me. So I come from the era where paddling was a thing. Like, and sometimes your principals, were males. You know what I'm saying? They were males and they disciplined you. So when I think about this topic, I'm like, the generation that we're in right now is not going for that. They're going to jail. It's going to be problems. Teachers are going to be in danger if they actually put their hands on somebody's child. But y'all tell me what y'all think about in the comments, or y'all can come up in and let's have that conversation. But I feel like it's going to be World War III because some teacher, some principal, or some authority from the school has put their hands on somebody's child. I think it's a different time now. It's like back in the day, they dealt with things and everything too. But I think it's gotten worse over the years. Honestly, y'all, I think it got worse over the years because people don't think the same. They don't. They don't think the same. Their mindsets are different. Their maturity levels are different. So the first instinct they're going to take is to hurt that teacher. They're not thinking about nothing else. Verse 48. That's it. So let's read some of these comments. They got it here. Somebody said they're putting teachers in danger. Somebody said it was a setup. What y'all think? Y'all think that's a setup? Man, let me tell you something. This is gonna get out of hand. Hey sis, welcome in. Thanks for tuning in. That's my biggest supporter, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all follow Shira Renee. She has her episodes coming up real soon. But I mean, what y'all think about this topic? Tell me in the comments, because like I said, I come from an era where paddling in school was a thing. And I had to go through it. Like, and then most of the time those principals was males. They were males. So you would go in the principal office and you had to bend over and you had to take maybe 5 or 10 licks, depending on what was going on, depending on what kind of trouble you was in. You know what I mean? So I came from that time period. So it's like, to see this happening now, the teachers that wasn't the ones that disciplined you. It was the principals. And most of the time, like I said, they were males. But, raising children back then was different too. I come from that time where you show off in Walmart, then you get dealt with in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? If it was time for you to get a beating, I was the one that had to go outside to get a switch. Sometimes braid them together, wet. Like, I come from that time where whatever you get your hands on, you getting beat. You getting beat. So at the end of the day, this right here is like a repeat of what used to be. Because then they came around and they took it out of schools. They took the paddling out of schools, everything. They took a lot of things out of school. They took prayer out of school. They took sex education out of school. I was in a time where they had sex education. I was in a time period when they had prayer in school. But now they don't have a whole lot of protection, a whole lot of nothing in school anymore. A lot has changed when it comes down to education. But I do feel like this has put the teachers in jeopardy. Because these parents are not going to play with them. This is a different time, whole different time, you know? And so, see, and I just said that because in the comments, somebody said they picked the wrong generation. See? And somebody said parents are the problem now. It's a setup for the kids to go into juvenile. So my thing is, okay, say for instance, one of those kids get hurt, and the parent come out there and try to hurt them, then what? Like, what happens to that parent? Is that parent gonna be dealt with because that parent dealt with the actual teacher that put their hands on their child? Somebody said, ain't no way. But then somebody made a valid point. If your child don't do anything or misbehave, no one can physically punish them. I don't understand what makes a parent worry besides your kids are troublemakers. Now I got to put that over here. Now that's a fact. If your children don't act up, oh, hold on, y'all, before I put that up there. If your children don't act up, then you don't have a problem, right? Hold on. I thought I had it, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Says if your child don't do anything or misbehave, no one can physically punish them. I don't understand what make a parent worry besides your kids are troublemakers. Now that's a fact. That's a fact, y'all. Y'all know that's a fact. That's a fact. So if your kids aren't bad kids, then what we doing? What we worried about it for? What you worried about it for? All right, let me take this off, y'all. Dang, that just put me all in your face. But yeah, people be out here tripping. So the next topic that I have is the last topic. I was hoping somebody would come in today. My sis, she's not gonna come up here and talk to me and kick it back today because she's tired. She had a long day. But I was hoping other people would chime in so we can have a conversation. So the last topic of the day is it okay to expect your partner to change for you? Now, that's a hot one. I feel like at the end of the day, if you go into a relationship with somebody, you shouldn't go into a relationship wanting to change that person. Like, what did you fall in love with from the beginning? If you want to change everything about that person, either you're going to accept that person as who they are in the beginning or not. It's just that simple. Don't deal with them like from the beginning. You can't change people because they have to want to change. They have to want to change. And if they're not willing to change, then what are we doing anyway? Like, that's just facts. That's facts. But that's my take on it, y'all. I'm getting ready to get up out of here because, it's only so long where you can talk to yourself. You be sitting there like, what in the world? And, even though we talk to ourselves in private, we talk to ourselves in private. We don't want the world to know we doing all that there. But anyway, y'all, make sure y'all visit the website, www.breakingthesilenceinc.com to get your BTS merch. Y'all ask for it. It's there. Shirts, jogging pants, sweatshirts, tank tops, coffee mugs, cooking aprons for the cooks out there. I have aprons for the babies. Babies have voices too. Onesies. Visit the website, click on the link to say, get my merch or get my t-shirt and grab you some BTS gear. And if you're an artist and you want to promote your music, I do music promos. I also do music reviews. You can also go to the website to lock in your music promo. And you can also email me. I don't know why I didn't put that there too. You can also email me to get more information about it and see what's the next step for us to work together and make sure that you're properly highlighted. If you're a business owner, same for you as well. You can reach out to me via email, and you can also go on the website and book your slot for promotion as well. Tomorrow, y'all, is the first episode of Transformation Tuesday. It's going to air at 4 p.m. So I hope y'all will tune in and allow me to open up myself to you. Like, genuinely open up myself to you. And I hope that you enjoy it. And I hope that those episodes that are on the way will encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and encourage you to step into yourself. Encourage you to be like, you know what? I might need to find a way to heal and let go. So y'all tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. and join the first episode of me really opening the wounds. Me really, as I say all the time, telling my business. But I'm getting ready to go on out of here, y'all. I hope that y'all have a great day. I hope that you did something worthwhile today. I hope you utilize your 24 hours as if it was your last 24 hours. 86,000 seconds in a day. You don't got no time to be wasting. No time, because you don't know what's on the other side of tomorrow. So, until next time, y'all stay inspired. Know that you're human. You're going to make mistakes. Stay strong. Stay uplifted. And let God lead the way. Later. Thanks for watching another episode of Breaking the Silence. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.
Hey y'all, it's your favorite Jersey girl, Shira Renee. And I just finished my episode with author Nikki Nicole from the Breaking the Silence podcast. And I want you to not only like, subscribe, and share, support the podcast, but I also want you to hit her up and be a guest, because it's always a vibe. Author Nikki Nicole is the professional and the graphics are top tier, and she always asks the greatest questions. It's like sitting down with your favorite family member, your sister, your cousin, your auntie. So make sure you guys support Breaking the Silence podcast and, of course, The Blemished Beauty. Talk to you later.